Should you get the iPhone 14 in the year 2024? Following Apple's release of the iPhone 16, users have been contemplating, should I get the iPhone 14 in the year 2024? Or finally, is it time for me to upgrade my iPhone to the iPhone 14, 14 Pro, or 14 Pro Max in the year 2024? Well, in this video, we'll be looking at the iPhone 14 Pro Max and why you should get this phone in the year 2024. So for a start, we're looking at the design of the iPhone 14 series. With me here is the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Personally, I'm not a fan. Yes, regarding its boxy shape and the, should I say, sharp edges, this just comes off and it looks like the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Although this color, which is the dark purple, is actually a very nice color, not too flashy, not too shiny. But I am honestly am not a fan of it. But regarding the design and the fact that the whole dynamic notch display stuff started at the iPhone 14, I actually like the front design. But when it comes to the sides in the year 2024, compared to the iPhone 15 Pro Max, which has a more curvy side look than the iPhone 14, which is actually kind of sharp, I actually prefer the iPhone 15 Pro Max to the iPhone 14 Pro Max when it comes to design. I'm not a big fan of the whole sharp edges of the iPhone 14 Pro Max. So if you are considering this, I actually say, oh, if you don't mind, you can actually go for this. If you don't mind the sharp design. But to me personally, I'm not a fan of the design of the iPhone 14 Pro Max. When it comes to the design again for the iPhone 14 Pro Max, I think this is actually nice. This whole silent and ring volume buttons compared to the iPhone 15 and the iPhone 16, this button is actually a very useful button, not like the whole action button I have to customize and stuff like that. It's just like with the type of a finger, and your phone is on silent and your phone is on ring. I actually like this and I actually go with an old fashioned. I like the old tradition, that is the whole ring and silent button. Then I also come down to the other design, the down part. It's actually okay to me. It's nice. There's no problem with that. The only problem I have with this phone when it comes to design is how sharp the edges are. Like, it's just too sharp. It's like the iPhone 13 series, and I'm not a big fan of that. I don't like the iPhone 13 Pro Max at all. But if you feel as if this is a good buy for you, then you can actually go if you consider the design. But for me, the design, I will rate it 7 over 10 in 2024. So the second thing we're looking at is charging. Yes, charging. So the iPhone 14 Pro Max or the 14 series generally still comes with the Lightning cable port. Yes, that is the Lightning cable port. And as of today, everything is basically Type C. The cords we use, the power banks we use, and the, let's say, the AirPods we use are Type C. So having to go, like, let's say you're going anywhere, you're carrying two cords, let's say you're carrying the Lightning cord or you're carrying the Type C cord, this is not actually a good buy for me as regards that in 2024 because we're like in the Type C era. So if you actually consider that, I just would say you should go for the iPhone 15 or the 16 series just because of the charging port, because it's quite inconveniencing and it doesn't really make sense. It's also actually a messy situation to be because you have to have like multiple cables for your dealing with thing. But with the Type C cable that comes with the iPhone 15 and the 16 series, you can just have one cable and you are good to go. One cable, one power. You can actually charge everything. But as with the 14, the 13 and lower, you have to have the Lightning cord and also the Type C cord as of today's requirement, which is actually messy something and a messy situation for me. So like the tidiness alone actually makes me go for the iPhone 15 in this. This is more or less, let's say, an iPhone 15 and 14 Pro Max comparison. So as regarding the charging port, I don't think this is a good buy in 2024. But considering the cost, you can still just go for it and, work with your Lightning cable. It's not really a big deal. So yeah, when it comes to charging, I honestly don't go with iPhone 14 in 2024. What's the performance on this phone? It's actually okay. Very, very okay if you ask me. So we're running the game Call of Duty on this one so that you can see how the performance goes. As you can see, this is Call of Duty activation. So let's just wait for this to log in and everything. Then I'll show you how gameplay is on this phone and I'll show you everything. So when it comes to the performance of this phone, it's still quite very okay for me. You can run games like Call of Duty on it. So what else do you actually need? So for performance base, this phone is actually very, very okay for me. Yeah. Especially if you're a simple user of an iPhone. Simple user, okay. So let's run the game Call of Duty on this phone and let's see how it goes. So as regards performance wise, as you can see, I'm running the game in Call of Duty on this phone. So let's just see how the gameplay is on this phone. We can judge by the performance. Actually, this phone is running on iOS 18 right now. So yeah, that's just it. So as you can see, this is the game Call of Duty Mobile. And let's just get to it. Point identified. I'm not really pro in this in gaming, so yeah, just manage. Changing maps. As you can see, there are no lags on this game. So as for performance wise, I think the iPhone 14 Pro Max can actually handle whatever it throws at it in the year 2024. Like I said, I actually used this phone for quite a while before I changed to the iPhone 16 to the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Sorry. So I actually know how it feels to use this as performance wise. So yeah. So yeah, that's just it. Performance wise, this phone is actually great if you ask me. So it's a good buy performance wise in 2024. Hardcore contested. So we're looking at the battery life of the iPhone 14. So this phone here with me, that is this iPhone 14 Pro Max, actually has a battery life of, let's say, of 92%. It has a 92% battery life. And to be honest with you, it's quite fair in 2024. Yes, because when I was using this phone, when this phone was my daily driver, I charged this phone up to 100% before I leave the house. And if I'm not really doing anything tasky that day, I actually use this phone for the whole day without actually charging it. That is if you get an iPhone 14 Pro Max with a good battery. Because if you have to buy this phone today, Apple does not sell this phone as new anymore. You're probably getting a refurbished iPhone 14 Pro Max or a used iPhone 14 Pro Max. So if you are getting this phone today, let's say you don't have the luck of getting one with a good battery, I think there is where you might encounter some issues. But if you are getting one with a good battery, it's actually a very, very nice phone. As regards battery wise, it's just the fact that, oh, let's say you're getting it from this store or this store. It really matters. It matters a lot. So you need to be like more, let's say, at a lot when buying this, because you're not actually buying this as a new device, especially for my brothers in West Africa, for Nigeria to be specific, because I am from Nigeria actually. So if you're buying this phone in Nigeria, I can guarantee you that you're not buying a new one. You're actually buying like a refurbished one, or you're buying a used iPhone 14 Pro Max. So you need to be actually, let's say you need to be at alert when it comes to the battery. You could actually check the battery health, make sure it's like, let's say 80 and above, or let's say 85 and above. Although these days, these batteries they can be boosted. I don't know if you know, most of you don't know about that though. But when it comes to iPhone battery, you can actually see like 100% of the battery life, and whereas that phone is at 70. But when I was using this phone, because this was the particular phone I was using as my daily driver, I could guarantee you that the battery was actually okay for me as a simple user. Although, let's say, today's kind of stuff, it's more demanding. Mobile phones are more demanding. Everybody's on their phones, scrolling at the time and stuff like that. So basically, you should consider the fact that, oh, am I a heavy user? If you're a heavy user, I recommend you get a power bank. But you don't really need any big power bank to be precise. Just small something. Let's say you use your phone from, let's say, 7 a.m. to like 2 p.m. Then you just have to recharge it in so that you can keep going. But when it comes to the battery of the iPhone 14 Pro Max, it's actually a very good buy to me. It's actually a very good buy. So you need to consider the battery health. Make sure you check the battery health before you buy the phone. Make sure it's something above 85 so that you can at least get what's like, let's say, the value for your money. But when it comes to the battery life of the iPhone 14, especially this iPhone 14 Pro Max, is actually very good and it's okay for a simple user. So now we're looking at the cost of the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Nice. This is the 128 gigabyte version of the iPhone 14 Pro Max. This phone usually goes for around $650 to around $720. While in Nigeria here, this phone goes for like, let's see, 1.2 million up to 1.4 million naira. So regarding for the cost, it's very, very good. Yes, for that price, for the price of like $700, I think it's still a reasonable phone to buy instead of getting the 15 or even the 16 Pro Max that goes for above $1,500. This just goes for, let's say, 680 to 720 on Amazon and eBay. Yes, to be specific. I don't know how much this would go for in an official Apple store. I don't know how much it goes for. But for Amazon and eBay, this usually goes for around 680 to 720. And if you are looking to get this in Nigeria here, I think this goes for like 1.2 to 1.3 million. That is at just normal stores in Nigeria here. So as for the cost, I think it's actually okay. If you ask me, it's okay compared to the prices of its superiors. It's actually very okay. So if you are considering getting this, you should just hold about 680 to 720, depending on the gig you're getting. If you're getting a 128 gig, 256, 512, or the 1 TB version of the iPhone 14 Pro Max. So now, I think this is like another important part. Let's say, if I should even say one of the most important parts, the camera of this phone. Unfortunately, they'll just be testing in the studio. I'll not be able to go out now to make a video with the cameras. So let's start with the photo camera. So this is the photo. This is a normal photo. I will just like indicate in the video. So this is the normal photo camera. As you can see, I'm just taking some pictures with the normal photo camera. So let's try the portrait camera now. So this is the portrait camera. So let's try with the video. Let's make a video. So this is the video camera. So let's try with cinematic now. So this is the cinematic. I think cinematic is actually made to be kind of slow or something like that. So this is the cinematic. So let's now try the selfie camera. So this is the photo for the selfie. The portrait for the selfie. This is the photo for the selfie, rather. The portrait for the selfie. Then I think let's make a video with the selfie camera. So this is the video with the selfie camera. Then let's try the cinematic also. So in 2024, actually, to be very honest, I actually think the video, the photo, and the portrait quality is actually very, very okay and very, very good. If you are like a business owner that creates content and all that stuff, this will work perfectly for you. That is, if you don't want to go for the 15 or the 16, the 14 Pro Max will handle it perfectly. So if you're considering the camera or you're worried that, oh, the camera will not meet today's standards, no, that's not true. It will actually meet today's standard and it will meet it perfectly. So this is honestly my general review of the iPhone 14 Pro Max in 2024. If it's actually a good buy in the 2024. So yes, this is just it. So this is actually my first video on YouTube, and I actually like if you can actually subscribe, like, and share and comment so that we can actually grow together as a family. Thank you. My name is Onoja from Zeus Reviews. Thank you.